Okay, I'm going to begin this cute little baby bonnet pattern with our beautiful Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday Worsted Luster yarn. And right here I have my 4.5mm hook. And here's the beginning of the skein where I see that this strand is in there. So I'm just going to pull that strand out first. And then, since that one came out of that end, I'm going to grab from the opposite end. And that's going to give me a nice little beginning end right there, okay? So that's how you start a new skein. And this is really simple. This section, we are just going to work foundation single crochet stitches to start the bottom edge of our bonnet, okay? And I want to start with a slip knot on my hook. So for a foundation single crochet, we are going to start with a chain of 2. 1 and 2. And I really like using foundation stitches. I use them quite a bit in my work. I like going into these back bumps of the stitches right here. And we're going to start by inserting your hook into that very first back bump underneath the bump. Okay. And next you're going to yarn over and pull one strand through. And now at this point we want to make that chain that's going to be the bottom of our foundation row. So to make a chain, I'm just going to yarn over again and pull that loop through only the first loop there, not through the second, only the first. And as you can see, that created kind of a chain that's going to be like the bottom of the single crochet. And now that I have 2 loops on the hook, I'm going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops to complete the single crochet. So now I have 1 foundation single crochet. Okay, now to make the next foundation single crochet, I'm just going to kind of rotate this over, and it's a little bit hard to see, but here's that chain that I created. I want to insert my hook underneath both loops of that chain that I created. I want to yarn over, pull a loop through, and now we have to make another chain just like we did here for the next stitch to work into. So yarn over, pull through only that first loop to create the chain. Now I have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops to complete the single crochet. Let's do that one more time. So rotate, insert my hook underneath both of the loops of the chain that I made, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through just that first loop to create another chain, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook to finish the single crochet. Okay, so now I want to continue making my foundation single crochets to the number that the pattern calls for your size bonnet. Okay, so now once I have the number of single crochets that I need for my first foundation row, I'm just going to simply work in rows, turned rows of single crochet. So I'm going to chain up 1, turn my work, single crochet in the first single crochet, and then single crochet in each remaining single crochet across the row. And then I'm just going to repeat rows of single crochet until my piece measures the length that my pattern tells me, so for whatever size you're making. So you're just going to measure from the start of the foundation row to the end of where you ended and determine the length. So once you get to the length that you need to be, you will move on to the next section. Okay, so we have this panel so far, and I've marked off the stitches that I want to work in the center. And then you don't need to use the markers, but you want to just make sure you work the correct number of stitches according to your size. So I'm just going to rejoin my yarn here after my first stitch marker with a single crochet. And then of course I'm just going to single crochet in each of these stitches across, and just make sure you have the correct number of stitches here. And what we're doing right now is creating the back section. So we're just going to work a few more rows even, and then we'll start our decreases. So turn and single crochet in each single crochet across. And now I just want to do some decrease rows. So I'm going to work a single crochet in the first single crochet, and then do a single crochet 2 together. So insert, pull up a loop, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop. Now that I have 3 loops on the hook, I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. And now I just want to work, I want to decrease on both ends. So 1 decrease at the beginning of the row and 1 decrease at the end of the row. So I'll work a single crochet in each single crochet across until I get to the last 3 stitches of the row. Okay, so here's my last 3 single crochet, and I'll work a single crochet 2 together in the next 2 single crochets, and then I'm going to single crochet in the last single crochet. So now chain up 1. And now for this row, I'm just going to work 1 single crochet in each single crochet across. So this will be an even row. And then I'm going to turn my work and do the same exact decreases that I did on the previous row. So a decrease at the beginning of the row and a decrease at the end of the row. Okay, so chain 1, single crochet in the first stitch, and then work my first decrease. Again, single crochet across to the last 3 single crochets, single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet, and then work another even row. And then I'm just going to follow that repeat until I have a certain number of single crochets left. Okay, so let's do that now, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so now I have the back section, and how this will work is we're just going to fold these 2 pieces in like this, and then I'm going to make a seam here and here to put our bonnet together. Okay, so I'm going to begin with the yarn that's already attached for my first seam. I just want to fold this piece in like this so the 2 ends line up. And we're going to slip stitch, working part of the slip stitch into single crochets and partly into the row ends. Okay, so now to work this slip stitch join, I'm just going to insert my hook into the front loop only, and then yarn over, pull loop through, and then pull a loop through the first loop that's on the hook. And then I'm just going to find like a kind of a space here. It's a little bit trickier going into the row ends. Okay, so I went from the outside inward, so I'm just going to fasten off here. And then I'm going to just rejoin the yarn, rejoin another strand of yarn, and work that same slip stitch seam along the opposite edge here, which is going to be this side. So I'm going to work another slip stitch seam here, and then we will just create the border and the tie. Okay, so we made a nice slip stitch seam along both edges. That's going to be the inside of our hat. I'm just going to flip it over. So now the right side is facing. And I want to work single crochet stitches along these row ends into these few stitches here, and then along the next row end. Okay, so I want my right side to be facing here. I'm going to join my yarn in the bottom corner. with a single crochet. Okay, and then I will just work single crochet stitches for the edging into the row ends here, okay? And the pattern is going to tell you exactly how many single crochet stitches to work into each side. And these are going to go along this side here and then down this other side, okay? We're not going to go all the way around yet. So just along the 3 sides. And when we've worked those single crochets, I will meet you back here. Okay, so now when I get to the end of the 3rd row, I am going to not turn my work, but I'm going to continue working down just the this last edge here, okay, which is the opposite side of the beginning row that we did, okay? 1 stitch in that corner space, and then I'm just going to work a single crochet into each of these single crochets across the bottom edge. So this is like the foundation row, the first row that we worked. I'm just going to work a single crochet on the opposite side of each stitch of the foundation row. The end of those foundation stitches, and I'm just going to work a couple more single crochets into the sides of those 3 rows that we did here, and fasten off again. Okay, and then just going to do like a little join here, and that just makes a nice clean edge for there. Okay, so now I'm going to weave in those ends. Okay, and so to make the tie, I want to start with a chain of 41. Okay, here I have a chain of 41, and what I want to do is join this chain. Remember, we ended on the right side, so I want to start this row on the wrong side because I'm going to make 2 more rows, okay? So just start here with your wrong side facing you. And then just join here, just join in the first stitch with a single crochet. And then you're just going to keep that chain there because we're going to work stitches into that at the end, okay? So now just 1 single crochet in each single crochet. Okay, so I worked a single crochet in each one of those, and remember we're not working all the way around. We just did that on the very last row. So now here I am at the end. I want to make another chain with 1 more chain here because we need 1 for the turning chain. We didn't need that on the other side. Okay, and now I just want to turn this chain and work a single crochet into each one of these chains across. Once I reach the end of that chain, I will continue working single crochets across the bottom edge, around, and then 1 single crochet into each of these chains from that starting chain that we added, and end there, fasten off, and weave in all my ends, okay? Okay, so we worked those single crochets in each one of the chains. Here I am at the end of that very first chain that we attached. And then I'm just going to fasten off, pull that through, and then I'm going to just weave in these ends. So what I did was I attached the chain. I worked around these single crochets here. I did another chain, turned, and then worked a single crochet into each of those chains, and then I came back around with that row, and finally I ended with a single crochet in each one of the chains of the very first chain that I attached, okay? And there you have it. That is how you create this cute little bonnet Just remember you're going to have to weave in those ends, of course. And here it is in a few of the other colors. You can see that little shimmer in there is really pretty. And that's how you make this cute little baby bonnet with our Premier Yarns Luster yarn. Thanks for watching.